Today we will be learning how to solve the corners blindfolded. Swapping algorithm for corners goes like this. Which swaps this to this. Any targets that are on the right face, it's really easy. You just move the R layer until it reaches this spot. So if your target is this, you just move it over to here, do the swapping algorithm, and then undo. Any D layer side targets, you can always move them to one of these two spots. And if you move it to here, you just do R to move it over to here. So if your target is this, you would use D2 to move it to here, and then R to move it to here. Do the swap, and then undo the setup. These three targets are special in that you can just use F moves to move it to this place. So if your target is here, you do F prime to move it to here. If it's this, then you do F2, and if it's this, you do F. For any D face targets, you move it to this place, and then you use F prime or move it to here. So if your target is this, you would use D2 to move it to here, then F prime to get it to here. Do the swapping algorithm, and then undo the setup moves. For these two targets, you move it over to here, and then use D to move it to here. So if your target is this, you would do F2 to move it to here, and then D to here. Do the swap, and then undo the setup. Lastly, for this target, you move it to here, and then F move will move it to this spot. And then you just do the swap, and then undo those setup moves. So here is an example solve. The scramble is up there, and you can do it in whatever orientation you want. I am still doing it yellow top, blue front. So this goes to here. Since it is on the R face, we move it straight here. Do the swapping algorithm, and then undo the setup move. Next is this. This goes to here. Since it is a D face target, we move it to this place, and then put it here. Do the swapping algorithm, and then undo the setup moves. This goes to here. It is a D layer side target, so we move it to the R face like this. It's here, so we move it over to here. Swap, and then undo. Next, this goes to here. It's D face, so we move it over to this spot, and then F prime to move it to here. Swap, and then undo the setup moves. This goes to here. For this, we move this to here, and then this to here. Swap, and then undo setup moves. For this, it goes to here. It's a D layer side target, so we move it to the R face. It ended up here, so we move it to here. do the swap, and then undo setup. This is done, but this corner is still twisted, so we cycle break. Let's choose this one. For this, we move it to here and down to here, swap, and then undo setup. This goes to here, which is like this, and it's done. For this scramble, it will be corners and edges together, and if you don't know how to solve edges yet, the video is in the card. So we start with edges first. This goes to here, this 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 goes to here, this goes to here, this goes to here, but the centers are wrong, so we do this. Now the piece is back at its own spot, so we pick another piece. So let's say we choose this. This goes to here, and lastly this goes to here. If your edges looks like this, where everything is solved except some things in the M slice, you do this algorithm, which solves everything but swaps these two, but don't worry, they will be restored later. Now for corners, this goes to here, this goes to here, this goes to here, this to here, this to here, this to here, and lastly this to here. And it's solved.